Hi, it's time for another exciting and rousing narration of Oracle VM CLI concepts. Today we're going to configure key-based authentication using SSH so you don't have to type the password every time you access the CLI. But first, the Oracle VM CLI User's Guide has a really nice, easy-to-follow recipe for configuring the key-based authentication for SSH. Let's take a look. All right. So this is the command line interface user's guide, the official Oracle VM CLI guide. I'm just going to go down to the table of contents, and then right here you can see key-based authentication. I'm just going to click on that just to show you. We're going to sort of cover a lot of these concepts, but if you've never worked with SSH keys before, this is a really good place for you to start. It explains it in quite a lot of detail about how to actually create the SSH keys, public and private keys. Another thing I wanted to show you really quick before we move on is the table, back to table of contents. I had said in a previous video that you can configure a lot of things about the CLI, and here's actually the place to do it. So I'm going back to the table of contents, and I'm just going to click on this configuring the Oracle VM CLI. And then here it'll tell you about this CLI config params file that you can modify to change different things, the service port, the timeout, all those kind of things. Now, you might ask, where do you get this guide from? And I will show that to you right here. The URL for this should be displayed in red along the bottom of this screen. But basically, this is our Oracle Technology Network. This is the documentation site for all the Oracle VM documentation. You can see previous versions of the product are here. Releases. We're working with the latest release, which is 3.2.1, and you can either download the entire library or you can look at it individually. We'll look at it individually here. Let me scooch that up a little bit so you see all of it on here. And then right down here is the command line interface guide, and then you can see it in HTML, PDF, or ebook. Alright, we'll put all this away, and now we'll just go ahead and open up a terminal. Okay, so from here, before you start, also some companies, your security team frowns upon using SSH keys, so make sure that's okay. So check with your IT security team to ensure SSH key authentication does not violate governance rules within your data center. Alright, so here's what I'm talking about. If you type in SSH, I'm on my script server. If we type in SSH admin at my manager service port 10,000, and let's just say I'm going to do a list server, my favorite command. It always prompts for a password. I just type it in, it executes the command and comes back. Same thing if you don't pass a command with it and you just want to log in. Type the password and you're in. However, your scripts are going to be, any automation you write are going to have the same problem. And it does get a little tedious after a while having to type the password over and over again. And of course it should be a bigger security violation of putting the password into your script files. So to solve that problem, we're going to create, I'm going to copy an existing public key that I already use for all of my automation, and we're going to copy it into a file specifically made for authorized keys for the CLI, and then we're going to put it over on the machine, where your OVM or Oracle VM Manager is running. All right, so I'm already in the directory SSH, and let me just do a pwd. I'm in root because I'm logged in as root.ssh. I have several files in here already. You can see I already have DSA and RSA keys. The user guide says you only need the RSA, so we're just going to work with RSA. Now I already have the CLI authorized keys file here, and basically all it is, I'm going to highlight that because I'm lazy. It's just that one. And that 1 is really the contents of this file, the entire contents of that file right there. So we'll just start from the beginning on this, and we're going to copy, as if that file doesn't exist. I'll just start over from the beginning. Copy the public key into this file right there. All right. And now I'm going to SSH over to my manager, because we need to put that file over there now that we just created. And I'm going to CD. You can switch users to Oracle at this point if you want to, and then go to the home directory for Oracle. But you want to go to Home Oracle. And in here, you may or may not have a .ssh directory. I have a .ssh directory. Whoops. There. I actually already have the file here. But if I wanted to, let's just remove it and pretend it wasn't here. Yes, I'm sure. So SCP, my script server where I created the file at, root.ssh, and the name of that file was that one right there, and we're just going to copy it over here. Now I'm root, so this file was copied over as root, and it needs to be Oracle and DBA, so let's go change own, whoops, if you spell it right, change own Oracle and DBA. You can see how lazy I am. I just copy and paste stuff, and then the name of this file, and there we have it. I'm going to go ahead and exit. Okay, and then we're back here, and I'll just CD back to root directory. We'll clear the screen. I don't like messy stuff. And now we're just going to go ahead and execute one of those commands. We'll go back through our command history, and somewhere, there it is. So first we'll try this one. And you can see it doesn't prompt for any password. Now the first time you actually access this, now it caches this, so you didn't see it, but the very first time after you've created that file, and I obviously already had the file in place before, it will prompt you one time for the password after you've created that authorized keys file, so that's normal. But after you exit, then the next time you do it from for the time that you've set in that file that I talked about, the customization file a little earlier, you can set that timeout value in that CLI configuration file. So if you don't remember what I'm talking about, just go back to the beginning of the video where I was talking about the user guide. Anyway, so now we can list server, whatever we want to do, and you don't have to provide a password. There you go. Thank you very much.